Okay, so in this video, I'll be talking about the trade deadline because these past couple of days have been insane. Now, today, a Lakers video was dropped today, and it was discussing the Lakers' future and how it was going. But when I was going to do that, today, Thursday, just turned into an insane day, so I decided to combine it all. So I'm going to talk about every team that made a major move. I'm going to talk about the minor moves as well, but mostly the major teams, and then discuss what's going to happen and discuss what is going on. This NBA trade deadline was insane. Okay, first we're gonna start with the first team, the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, this team needed to make significant moves as LeBron James and Davis needed help. LeBron James has vocally made it clear that he doesn't like this team and he doesn't want to be a part of this team because the team is not built to win. So they have traded Russell Westbrook to Utah Jazz, and they have gotten D'Angelo Russell, Jarred Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley. Then they traded Patrick Beverley to the Magic for Mo Bamba. I really like these moves because it helps the Lakers do things they need to have. They need a playmaker, and Russell Westbrook just didn't fit this team. I never knock Russell Westbrook because the things that people saw this season and last season was flaws that he already had. But this team emphasized those flaws. That's why Russell was so bad. And he looked so bad because when you play with LeBron James and you play with great players that gets most national televised games, their problems will be emphasized more. That's why Russell Westbrook looks so bad. And I don't think he's that trash, but on this Lakers team, I think he is. So him on the Jazz, he won't be able to play fully Russ. I don't think the spacing is good enough for him, but the Jazz will allow him to play as the Jazz are a solid team. So think about the Lakers got D'Angelo Russell. Now D'Angelo Russell, I was high on as him going to Timberwolves because I really like him going to Timberwolves. But last season he just didn't play the level that I thought he was going to play. But after the middle of the season, he has played exceptionally well. He's more efficient. He's creating his shots more, and he's playing more off ball than I thought he'd be playing. Now I don't think he's that good of an off ball player. I don't think he's that much off ball, but he's playing off ball. His decision making has gotten better, and that's something I knocked him for. And his playmaking has gotten better as well. So him on this team as a starting player will really elevate his team because LeBron is your primary point guard, and sometimes LeBron just will be able to floor. So you have D'Angelo Russell as a shot creating shooting guard, somebody who is efficient with three-point range. Now he's shooting more consistent threes, shooting more, and he's also efficient in mid-range. His finishing ability is okay. He needs to get better at that. But besides that, this is a good pickup for the Lakers. And you have a real starting guard who is able to play for this team, and you need more playmakers for AD and LeBron. And he's also a good shooter and efficient for that as well. I like him for this team. You also have Malik Beasley, who is a knockdown shooter. That's all he's there for. And he's semi-good at defense, but not that good. But the thing about this team that I really like is Jarred Vanderbilt. I'm a really big fan of Jarred Vanderbilt, and he was on the Timberwolves. He really covered all of Cat's holes on the Timberwolves team because I did not think that Cat was that bad defensively. As you obviously see this season, he's injured. Before his injury, he was so bad defensively, and it's just because of the way Jarred Vanderbilt was able to. He's so versatile. So that's what I think I like about this Lakers team. You have two versatile big men, as Jarred Vanderbilt and Anthony Davis are two versatile big men and can play both the 4 and the 5. But you have to be strategic when you do these Jarred Vanderbilt minutes because Jarred Vanderbilt is not good at shooting. He's not a good offensive player at all, and he's horrific offensively. So you have to be strategic with how you play this lineup because you have Jarred Vanderbilt on the floor. Don't expect no buckets from him because he's not be able to shoot as you think he'd be able to do. But besides that, the Lakers really won, and they also got Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba is a good defender, and he's also a semi-good three-point shooter as well. Mo Bamba come on his team, help his team out more because when they got rid of Thomas Bryant, I was kind of skeptical on that, but they replaced with Mo Bamba, and they got rid of Patrick Beverley, who I didn't like with this team either. So I really like the moves the Lakers made. I'm honestly just the moves the Lakers made because I thought that they wouldn't be able to really do what they want to do after they messed with the Kyrie trade. But honestly, this is better than the Kyrie trade in my opinion because instead of getting one star, you're adding more depth and more competent pieces, which is amazing for this team. I really like the Lakers and what they did this season. This trade deadline, and let's hope that it picks up the next half of the season because they can still make a push because the West is weak right now. The West is really open, and that's something that doesn't really happen as much. So that's really good for the Lakers, and I'm glad that Rob Pelinka did his job. So I really hope that this Lakers can make a really big push to the next half of the season. Okay, next let's talk about the next biggest team that made a splash last night at 1 a.m. The Phoenix Suns have acquired Kevin Durant from the Brooklyn Nets. That is an amazing trade for the Phoenix Suns. Because think about the Suns season. The Suns was playing better season because of one, Devin Booker was injured, and Devin Booker was having a stellar season, but him getting injured really hit his team because he was most of the offensive firepower. Chris Paul is really digressing. He's not being the player he used to be, which is expected because he's getting older. DeAndre Ayton just isn't the player that I thought he would be. He's not going to be number one on the championship team. He's not going to be number one on the team. So you rely on Devin Booker so much where when he's out, your team is bad. It's not that good for this team. But this team still has an all-around good structured team, as they have Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Cam Payne. They had a lot of good pieces, but they didn't have one good offensive scorer to carry this team. That's what Booker was. But now you're getting Kevin Durant, and unfortunately they go to Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. Those are really two good pieces for your team. But in return, you get Kevin Durant, who is very efficient this season, and he's a superstar. He's a superstar. So you trading four first-round picks, Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, for Kevin Durant. It's honestly a good deal in my opinion. I will take that because I'm getting a superstar type player who will play with Devin Booker and Chris Paul well. Because Chris Paul is he's still a good playmaker. He still has good IQ, even though he's not that consistent on the mid-range 3-point shot. He's not really as Chris Paul as we would like. He's still a good playmaker, so that's good for this team as well. And then also you have Devin Booker, who is a good shooting guard. He is a top 5. He's a top 3 shooting guard in this league. Then you have Kevin Durant, who's top 5, arguably the best player this season when he was healthy. That is a good team to win a championship. They have a good team to win a championship. Then you have DeAndre Ayton, who is a good defensive center and is coming together offensively, but he is inconsistent and for some reason kicking the free throw line. But besides that, this Suns team is really capable of winning the championship. You acquiring Kevin Durant this trade deadline really helped this team because they was not thinking about trading Kevin Durant. They were just going to leave him alone and not really do anything. But them trading Kevin Durant, I'm going to get to the Nets later because it didn't make sense to me what the Nets did, but I'll get to them later. So you trading Kevin Durant helped this team out a lot, as you was very tanking this season. So now you getting Kevin Durant. I don't know when he's going to come back. I don't know if the Suns will be able to make a push for the playoffs this season, as it's getting too late. Devin Booker, I don't know when he's scheduled to come back. Kevin Durant, he's injured until after the All-Star break, so I don't know if this team make a push this season, but definitely next season, as Kevin Durant is still in the books for 2 or 3 more years. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant still in the books. Chris Paul still in the books as well. So you still have your best 3 players. So if you be able to make a push next season, that's still good enough. This season, I don't know, as Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are injured, so they're able to come back by March. They can still make a push as West is the week, but still, this team is really, really good, and they made the biggest trade this offseason. This trade deadline, as you acquired the biggest superstar that's out there, and the biggest superstar that wanted to get traded. He wanted to get traded this offseason, but the Brooklyn Nets decided to keep him. So now you trade him. The trade deadline just makes this team automatically better. The West has just gotten significantly better now and is no longer wide open. So next, I'm going to talk about the Dallas Mavericks. So the Dallas Mavericks have acquired Kyrie Irving. So I'm not really going to say that much as what I've said because I made 2 videos on it. One discussing the Kyrie Irving in general, what team to go to. Another one discussing Kyrie Irving and the Mavericks in general. So I'm not going to discuss it that much. But Kyrie Irving is not in the Dallas Mavericks. And this really shows how the Mavericks need another player, because Luka Doncic is carrying this team way too much for it to be a competent team. The only reason why they got so far last season was because the exceptional play of the supporting cast last season. So the Mavericks having exceptional supporting cast play is not going to replay itself this season. So you're able to use them people to be able to get Kyrie Irving, another player to help out Luka Doncic, is a very good thing for this team. I really love that. I really love this trade for this team, and I feel like Kyrie Irving, Luka will work to a certain extent, because I feel like great players will learn to adapt. So it's going to be hard for these players to adapt at first, but great players will know how to adapt. So if they don't learn this season, they will definitely learn next season, as Kyrie Irving has played the second field to Kevin Durant. Even though the Brooklyn Nets was a very ISO-centric, he will probably be able to still be able to play efficiently with these 2 players. So I feel like the Mavericks are still good, but I feel like they should have made another trade to get something better, basically depth. So they need to try to get a better center defensively in the buyout market, because their defensive capabilities isn't good enough to really sustain itself in the Western Conference. But still, I still have this team as a top seed in the Western Conference, and I'm really excited to see Kyrie Irving and Luka on the same floor. So next, let's talk about another winner, and I'm gonna get to some losers. So first, let's talk about my Golden State Warriors. So the Golden State Warriors have made a trade where they traded James Wiseman away, and we got back Gary Payton II and also Saddiq Bey. And I'm really liking them pickups for my team, because I really wanted Gary Payton II to stay on this team. And when he was signed by the Trailblazers, I was so distraught because I like Gary Payton on this team, and I've made it verbally clear on some takes I made about my team that Gary Payton really helped this team defensively. So us giving up James Wiseman, who I didn't like anyone on this team, and I just feel like we should just sign him in the offseason anyway. But I understand why we traded James Wiseman, because James Wiseman really put up some money for us on the books and saved us from luxury tax. So it makes sense why we just traded him for Gary Payton II, and I'm very glad he's back on the Golden State Warriors. I really like him on this team. And then also we got Saddiq Bey, who is a very good versatile person for our team. So I really like these two pickups for our team. We need more defense and versatile depth, so it really helps our team. So I really hope we can really pick it up next half of the season and make a push in the Western Conference, because now the Western Conference is really stacked. Okay, so now let me get to some other teams. First, let me talk about the Brooklyn Nets. Now the Brooklyn Nets is just a failure of a franchise in general. One, I'm going to get to the background, and I'm going to get to what they had now. So, first of all, you signed Kyrie and KD, one of the biggest splashes in that offseason about a couple years ago. And it really set the tone for this league, as you had Kyrie and KD, two of the best players in the NBA. And it really helped this team set a tone. Then you trade for James Harden. So James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant all on the same team, playing at one of the, well, most of it was at the apex of their career. James Harden slowed down on purpose just so he can play on this team and be the second or third option on this team. And then Kyrie Irving wants to mess up the team, and Kevin Durant wants to get injured, so James Harden gets out. Then when James Harden goes out, you have Kyrie, Ben Simmons, and Kevin Durant. And Ben Simmons, oh my God, Ben Simmons just is not a good player for this team. So then you have Kevin Durant, who's constantly getting injured and constantly not, he's producing when he's healthy, but that's the problem. He's not healthy, he gets injured at least once every season in the middle of the season. So do you have Kyrie Irving, who's having media troubles, once out, once this, once that. So this team it just didn't work out, and it's just so sad to see, as that trio only played 16 games together. And when they played them 16 games, it was just fantastic to watch, but we just couldn't watch them play significantly, and it's just so sad to see. So the thing about this team is, this team traded Kyrie Irving for Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith. Then you traded Kevin Durant for Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, and also some first-round picks. So I have two things to say about this deal. One, I don't understand why they just didn't trade Kyrie to the Lakers, as they was already trying to do all this. You might as well just traded Kyrie to the Lakers, got Westbrook, bought him out, and got them 2 picks, instead of you getting Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and then a first-round pick, only one, when you could just got 2 and then got Westbrook and then bought him out. I didn't understand that. And then you getting Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, understand that, and you getting 4 first-round picks, because you have 2 young pieces, and then you also get the first-round picks. So I'm not mad at Kevin Durant deal. I just don't understand why you just didn't get Russell Westbrook. Because you get Russell Westbrook, just buy him out. And if you buy him out, you still have 2 first-round picks, instead of you getting Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith. When they made that deal, I thought they were going to keep Kevin Durant, but then you proceed to trade Kevin Durant. So what's the point in having these pieces on this team when you can have these pieces on other different teams? So I feel like the Buccaneers will be making more trades in the offseason, because they can really rebuild and get more young players for these teams, because those 2 players, Dorian Finney-Smith and Dinwiddie, can be on championship contender teams. So I just feel like they're gonna be able to get more assets for them people. So I think they're not there for that long. But the thing about this team is, Ben Simmons just isn't good. I just don't like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is not aggressive enough for me, and he just took a step back. How do you take a step back when you're supposed to go forward? Ben Simmons just isn't good. He just not. I don't understand why he's even on an NBA team. That's how bad he's playing. He was supposed to replace James Harden, come in and still play good, be an all-league defender, and then have a semi-good offense. But no, he's just not aggressive enough. He's too passive, and it's just not working out for this team. So I just don't know why the Brooklyn Nets just failed a super team. They failed 2 superstars, and granted, some of it wasn't their fault. There is blame to go around. Kyrie Irving deserves some of the blame. The Nets deserve some of the blame, and so do Kevin Durant. All three of them come into play, and they deserve some of the blame. Kyrie deserves some of the blame for driving James Harden out of Brooklyn. He kept on getting in situations. He kept on not wanting to play basketball. The COVID, the anti-Semitic comments, so many things he's done where it just didn't make it, and he just couldn't play basketball. And James Harden, who came on that team just to win, and now you're not winning because one of your best players consistently is out, and then Kevin Durant is getting injured. I want out as well, as I will go to a different team that I know will contend and flourish in a secondary role that I was already doing. So him driving James Harden out was what for this team. Then also just getting injured, or you getting injured and just not playing and allowing Kevin Durant just playing by himself. I understand that hurt Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant expected Kyrie Irving to be up on his side and be a second best player. And as you've seen this season, when it was both of them on the floor, they play consistently. So you now just not having him and you consistently just getting in trouble. Well, I understand why KD wanted a trade also. So it just didn't make sense. But the thing that get me was the Nets need some of the blame as well, because how are you gonna cling so much on these 2 players as you fired your coach Kenny Atkinson to get Steve Nash to please them to, you get DeAndre Jordan to please them to, and you get all the assets that them 2 want, but you don't want to pay Kyrie Irving to come to the time. So Kyrie Irving requesting a trade made sense because I want to get paid as well to the stats I want to get paid at. And also the Brooklyn Nets did all this work for me. I want to get traded as well. So it makes sense why Kyrie Irving and KD won out. And it's just so sad to see the Brooklyn Nets really failed this team and failed how they're going to do. I really hope this next rebuild is work out for them. Okay, so that's most of the major moves of the trade deadline. This is really cool to see, as I was looking at my phone most of the day to see what was happening with the trade deadline, and I really loved it. And the thing about the mid-season report, I have the Western Conference mid-season report almost ready. So the thing about that is it's kind of late and it's kind of not on time, but I recorded that at the mid-season of the season. So I'm still going to upload that video as it was the mid-season report and it was still at the middle of the season. So I'm going to upload that video and I'm going to use this video as well so you can still see this stuff. But most of the stuff I said in that video still stands, and most of the stuff I said in that video I still stay on those points. So it doesn't matter, but thank you for watching this video, as more is coming out soon. I have more video essays coming out soon as the overrated series is almost done. Thank you for watching, and thank you for liking.